Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rekakadash, Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shah being the name of His only begotten Son, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Now, when you look at the picture and you look at the movie, you clearly see who is the deceiver on the earth and who love telling lies. See, and then it's also an allegory of that the Most High is giving us. See, the Most High, let's get that in because people don't know how He operates, and so let's get that in is it Zephaniah or Zechariah? Let me get that real quick. I think it's Hosea. Hosea 12 and 10. Hosea 12 and 10, it say, I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. See, the Most High like to use similitudes, and that similitudes goes back to allegories and dark sayings, like King Solomon said in chapter 1 of Proverbs. Because in order to understand these things, you have to fear the Lord. Proverbs 1 and 6, to understand a proverb and an interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. Verse 7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. So, when you look at these dark sayings, these allegories, you can understand what the Most High is saying through His prophets, because He speaks through His prophets. And so, when you look at the people of Israel in this movie, they're all so-called white people, Caucasian, European. Then, when you look at the Egyptians and the pharaohs, they are European, Caucasian. So, what in the world is going on here? Who are these people? So, if the Israelites are so-called white people, the Egyptians is so-called white people, who are these dark-skinned people standing here? What lineage do they go back to? See, this is what's going on with the media and the witchcraft of the so-called white man. See, back then in the 56, before white men could marry black women, they had a totally blackout on the media. They had a total gag order on the rest of the world when it came to media. And so you couldn't debunk or expose them by the crap that they was doing and the lies that they was telling. They told the lies with no pushback. See, there was no way you could talk to the public and the masses of the people and convey to them that this is a liar and a deceiver, and he's telling bold-faced lies. See, he had a gag order on the community of in the society of America and the masses of the world. Now, so you got them in their Bible dictionaries. It'll tell you that the Hamites was dark-skinned people, and in all of their theological schools, they'll tell you that the Hamites were dark-skinned people. Cain, they say Cain was cursed to be dark-skinned. See, that was a curse that Cain had, his dark skin. So they was pushing all of that kind of stuff back then, but you telling a bold-faced lie saying the Egyptians are so-called white peoples. when the Egyptians was Hamites, according to the word. That's one thing. Okay, apart from that, then you got the allegory. Look, Salakia. You got the allegory, and the allegory is pretty much that Pharaoh now is the so-called white man. See, he represents Pharaoh. He represents the king. And in Romans chapter 9, it expresses that in the exact same way. See, Romans 9 and 13 says, and it is written in Malachi 1 and 4 or 1 and 3, Jacob have I loved and Esau have I hated. Then you jump down to verse 7, talking about Jacob and Esau. Verse 17, Salakia. Jump down to verse 17, and it's talking about Jacob and Esau. It says, for the scriptures saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I may show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. So he didn't raise Israel up, see, to show his power. He raised these Edomites up. See, they ruling. They are the rulers. See, Israel had a short world rulership with King Solomon for 40 years. They did not rule the world in the manner that these Edomites is ruling outside of that rule of Solomon and partially of King David. See, and so these Greeks, Romans, Greek Edomites, Roman Edomites, British American Edomites, they are ruling worldwide through their sword. And that sword goes back to Esau. And so this allegory it fits the so-called white man perfectly. And his lies, see, let's get that in Psalms chapter 50, verse 16, it say, but the wicked, God said, but to the wicked, see, God talking to these dragons, what have thou to do to declare my statutes, or what thou shalt take my covenant in thy mouth? Verse 17, seeing thou hated instruction, and castest my words behind thee. See, the Edomites hate the word of the Lord. See, and they cast his words behind them. So what are they doing with the covenant in their mouth? They hate the covenant. They hate his words. See, why are they explaining his covenant? Why are they breaking down what happened with his people? Psalms 52, verse 3, thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than speaking righteousness. See, they love lying. They hate telling the truth about Yahweh and Yahweh, but they love telling a lie. See, that's why in 58, Psalms 58 and 3, the wicked, which is Esau, Edom, are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. You see, as soon as they come out the womb, they are like their forefathers. That's why he said in John 8 and 44, you are from your father the devil. See, who did not abide in the truth, and who is the father of the lie. See, Esau is the father of the lie, and every child that come out of the womb of that bloodline come out speaking lies. And these red dragons is not to be trusted. See, they are not to be trusted. And so this is what the peoples don't understand. They thinking that this joker is a so-called white man, and he only go back to the history of the name white people. That goes back to 1681. He had a history before 1681. He was in the earth before 1681, and nobody was talking about no white people. See, but let's go to Jeremiah and show what he did, and why is people calling him the white man, and Caucasians and Europeans and Anglo-Saxons, Anglo-Americans. They call him everything in the book, but what his real identity is. Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, his brethren is spoiled, his neighbors is spoiled, and he is not going to be able to hide himself. And that's what's going on with these dragons. But the Most High is exposing him through his son Yahushua, and through because Yahushua is the word. So this word is exposing these dragons. This word gives a history on these dragons and on their nation. And so when you see the history of these individuals, then you understand who you're dealing with. See, everybody do a background check, but when it comes to the history of their people, they throw that out the window. The background check don't care. They don't care about a background check then. See, the background check of their nation, they don't care about that. It don't affect them. They don't know them people. Them people, they had nothing to do with them. See, that's what they'll tell you. Because they love lying. They came out the womb lying. And they're a bunch of liars trying to hide their identity. Because they know who they are. The elites of their nation and the educated peoples of their nation know who they go back to. But they'll want to hide it and put their face on the Egyptians' face. Put their face on the Israelites' face. And because this is what Job 9:24 was about. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. Who is those judges? The Israelites. Yahushua. They put their face on the judge. The judges of all judges. And even on the people. They made Yahushua a so-called Edomite. And the Israelites was Edomites. And the Jehovah wickedness passed the pamphlets all around the world pushing this agenda. See, these little rinky-dink churches in America, they don't have pamphlets and stuff that they pass around. See, they got television shows and things like that, but these Jehovah Witnesses, they make sure they fly to every inch of the globe to push this agenda of Esau being Yahushua and Edomites being the Israelites. See, them some of the main ones that push this agenda. But anyway, it says Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. If it ain't the Jehovah Wickedness and these Edomites that's pushing this agenda, Cedric Bozier all over the place, where can you find somebody that's doing that? That's making movies and books and things, presenting themselves as Yahushua and the Israelites. Who is he? Where and who is he? First you got to find where he at. Then you got to tell who the man is. Now let's go. Because see, when I said that just triggered something. I'm going to end it on this. Go along with Job 9:24. It's another precept that says it's very straight to the point. 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, verse 4. Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sit in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. See, they not only did these dragons show that they Yahushua and the Israelites, they present themselves as Almighty God. See, and they got leprosy. According to the high priest in Leviticus 13, they got leprosy. The Most High don't got no leprosy. He not going to present himself ever as having a plague. And so that's the lies that these Edomites hate to present. Just like the Most High said in Psalms 50, verse 16 and 17. They hate telling the truth. They hate giving the instruction that the Most High gave. In Daniel and Revelation, it tells you that he got woolly hair and dark skin. And Yahushua. So these people tell bold-faced lies, and they were born to do so. They can't help it. But I'm going to leave it there. If the devil want to call my phone. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the descendants of slaves scattered around the world, the repentant Israelites that the Bible speaks of. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.